Yesterday, on WION Fineprint, our cover story was from Pakistan. We told you about a list of crises the country is facing, the most urgent being that of terror. A suicide bomb blast in Peshawar that has left more than 100 people dead and over 200 injured. Tonight, we want to focus on this new wave of terrorism. Pakistan has faced bouts of attacks from homegrown groups, but the past 3 years have been different. And that is why this attack in Peshawar is different. Let me explain how. Two members of the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, or the TTP, have claimed responsibility for the attack. But hours later, the group distanced itself. The motive and the perpetrators are still under investigation. But that does not change a clear pattern that has been set by these terrorists. There was a 28% increase in terror cases in 2022 in Pakistan compared to 2021. All these incidents become more critical at a time of political and financial challenges that the country faces. But you see, the TTP is Pakistan's very own Frankenstein monster. Pakistan's deep state helped create this demon. It was nurtured by its spy agency, the ISI, and it grew alongside the Afghan Taliban between 2001 and 2021. Somewhere in between, it decided to turn against its creator and wage war against Pakistan. And ever since Kabul, things have gone south. The TTP has regrouped. Today, the terror group claims large swaths of territory in Pakistan. It has even announced a parallel government. The TTP has a history of attacking the state and the police. And Peshawar is no exception. The mosque is located inside a highly fortified compound. It houses the headquarters of the provincial police force and a counter-terrorism department, which is why 90% of the victims of this suicide bombing are police officers. They were clearly the target. Now look at these visuals. The Pakistan Army Chief General Asim Munir carrying the coffin of a young officer who was martyred in Baluchistan. These visuals are testament to what security officials are currently facing in Pakistan. What makes them even more angry is the fact that politicians have a role to play in all of this. It's the governments, past and present, which clearly have blood on their hands. Former Prime Minister Imran Khan wanted to talk with the banned Tehreek-e-Taliban group. Experts say the administration understood the grave threat this posed, but the present government has ignored the situation. Shehbaz Sharif is busy engaging in politics. He has time and again blamed the previous government for importing terrorism. So while politics plays out, innocents continue to lose their lives. For more on this, we're now joined by Raja Faisal, a senior journalist and columnist based in Islamabad. Raja Faisal, welcome back to WION. Now,
thank you, Noah.
Even though Pakistan has been struck by a rash of terror attacks in recent years, more than 1,000 lives were lost just in 2022. 2023 has begun on an equally ominous note. Take the case of the Peshawar attack. More than 100 lives lost. More than 200 injured. Most of the victims are police officers. It's very clear that it is the police who were the target here. Questions are now being asked about just what is Pakistan's strategy as far as dealing with this growing menace of terrorism is concerned. And also, are there not real concerns that one serious intelligence lapse after another has resulted in these attacks?
Neha, very right. You're very right about it. And I just wanted to mention here that Pakistan in, war on terror for the 20 years, it has lost more than 80,000 lives. And if we talk about economic losses, of course, $125 billion of its economy we have lost in this war. And it is becoming as a never-ending war. We know that in recent years, the attacks, there was a decline in it. But this current attack, it shows that the wave of terrorism a fresh wave of terrorism is being faced by Pakistan right now. And earlier you mentioned Frankenstein's monster. It's a good term, of course. When it comes to Pakistan, for 20 years, Pakistan has been fighting these people for a reason, and that was that Pakistan was part of a coalition against the terrorism, and Pakistan was in a coalition, was an ally with the Americans. And now when the Americans are out, we know that, of course, Pakistan is a neighboring country to Afghanistan, and very people, the TTP ones, Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan and Tehreek-e-Taliban Afghanistan, they were in an alliance against the Americans to oust them. As soon as we saw that the Americans got out of this region, of course, these are the people who are having safe havens in two of the provinces of Afghanistan, Nangarhar and Kunar province. And these two safe havens, obviously, they are a sort of, a place that is providing them to fight against Pakistan right now. We know that last year, of course, one of the delegations of ulama, the religious scholars from Pakistan, went into Kabul. It was facilitated by Taliban to talk with the TTP. And of course, in them talks, there was one prominent name, Mufti Taqi Usmani. Mufti Taqi Usmani is the same one who last week, declared this jihad, which is being fought against Pakistan, as a haram. It is prohibited, and this religious decree, actually, this fatwa, he came up last week, and we know that one of the leaders of Taliban yesterday boasted about it, that they have, I'm talking about Umar Mukarram Khurasani, who tweeted yesterday that we have avenged Umar Khalid Khurasani. We know that Umar Khalid Khurasani got killed last year in one of the roadside
there
bombs
is no doubt
in Afghanistan.
That these attacks are brazen and they are being claimed by these terror groups, especially the TTP. But Raja Faisal, you say that Pakistan is paying the price for being part of a global coalition that fought the war on terror. But forgive me for saying this. There are many who say that organizations like the TTP are Pakistan's own Frankenstein monster. That over the years and decades, Pakistan has helped nurture the Taliban, and now it is being bitten by the same snakes that it has kept in its backyard for a very long time, to borrow Hillary Clinton's words.
Neha, you are very right about it. We remember that there was this statement coming from Hillary Clinton. She obviously said it openly that we left Pakistan with the stingers and with the Mujahideen, and we told ISI to take care of them. And of course, we left Pakistan, and now they are facing all of this menace at the hands of all of these terrorists. I just wanted to maintain here that ISI and Pakistan is always being labeled for nurturing all of these. Nobody talks about CIA, nobody talks about USA, nobody talks about few of the Middle Eastern countries who have been obviously helping all of these Mujahideen against USSR of that time. And we know that these Mujahideen, they gave a tough time to USSR, and USSR had to vacate Afghanistan in them days. But later on, as Hillary Clinton claimed, and yes, US left Afghanistan and Pakistan on their own, and this was bound to happen, whatever happened in this region. And I think this time again, US getting out of the region without giving an ultimatum to the neighboring countries was awful once more, because end of the day, the regional countries, I'm not talking about only Pakistan, it can be India, it can be Iran, it can be all of the Central Asian republics and China as well. It's a common problem for all of the countries.
Yes, the history of the region is complex. A lot perhaps can be said about the role of the United States and the erstwhile USSR. But then one would also have to remember, two wrongs do not make a right. On that note, Raja Faisal, thank you very much for sharing your perspective with WION.